Hi, everyone. It is 9 o'clock Friday morning. I'm Jane Monreal. You're watching Live Impact News on WCNC Plus. We thank you for joining us on a Friday morning. It has been so glorious all week in the weather department, and so let's finish out that way, shall we? Our Chris Mulcahy's in here, Live Impact Studio right now. Chris, are we going to be finishing the week in a lovely way to the Labor Day weekend?
It's actually going to be terrible, Jane. Back to you. No, I'm joking. Wow. No, I'm absolutely joking. No, Jeb, let's bring it up. Check this out. I got 4 examples about how great it is right now. Beautiful sunny skies across the area, especially that upper left. Woo, beautiful blue skies. So I had Wednesday as my pick of the week, but then Friday kept on getting better. Let's have 2 picks of the week because this is almost an identical day. And I think you're going to be sunny most of it. It was looking like it could be a little bit stickier today, but I'm barely going to notice it. But temperature's also a little bit warmer as well. In the mid-80s, it is just going to be absolutely downright pleasant. Get outside and enjoy it. Do not miss out on this opportunity. It doesn't usually feel like this in August. So usually we're in the upper 80s and it's a lot more humid. So this is a nice little break to actually have a reduction in that mugginess and have that sunshine. Oh, that's nice. So super sunny and warm, lower to the mid 80s, looking great. One example that it is dry enough for the afternoon, 85 feels like 84 whenever it's too dry or dry enough. It's actually going to be the reverse of a heat index. So good news there. Also, who's ready for some football? Y'all ready for some football? Woo! Do you have any college teams that you root for?
The U.
Okay. Oh, I didn't know that.
Block Jeb's view there. Jeb is in the house for Carlene, by the way, this morning.
Hi, Jeb.
Working late, coming in early.
That's what we do.
Who are your teams?
Mizzou, we had a huge win yesterday. Bo Fabula.
Nice.
Book him as your Heisman 2026.
Oh, all right. We're already making the call.
We're there. Bo Fabula, Heisman 2026. Okay. You heard it here first, folks.
All right, and I'm for who had I think
That's
the
right, of
worst
course.
season in their franchise history. I think that if we could do rankings, I think we should be number 600.
Oh, boy.
And I don't even know how many schools there are in the Division One, but last year was so disappointing.
Yeah.
So Bama's a cakewalk. You'll be fine tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, no one can accuse you of being a bandwagon fan, though.
Oh no, absolutely.
Right? So I'm a ride or die as well, and I actually what do you call it? Re-downloaded the FanDuel.
Yeah. Nice.
Just for college football.
Oh, that's
season.
awesome.
Yeah, that's all I do. It's college football, and that's it.
You were successful
And
last
F1.
time with that.
I did.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
let's bring it back, round 2. All right, and I'm excited for college football as well. People have been telling me to get off the bandwagon, so that's the opposite of Florida State right now. And hey, at least I saved some time. All right, so here's a look at the Dukes Mayo Classic. App State versus the 49ers. That is an amazing start to the season. Battle of the Carolinas, and amazing forecast for that game right at Bank of America Stadium, right around 80 degrees. Temperatures falling down through the 70s. Your weekend forecast, we have the mid-80s, very similar to today on Saturday, but more cloud cover. If I were to pick the day that most likely it's going to rain, it's Sunday, but most of the days I think should be dry for Sunday, and then the same thing goes for your Saturday as well. Getting right to a 7-day forecast, I want to show you that we're back down in the lower 80s on Sunday and Monday. This coming Labor Day should be dry, and then after that we're either side of 80 degrees before we have another surge back to the mid 80s and a better chance for rain. Where if I look at the long range forecast, we are in the lower to the mid 80s, and this actually isn't too unusual for this time of year, because if you look at the upper right corner of any 7-day forecast that I personally show you, not everyone here on the team will, it's 87 and 67 for our average highs, and that soon is about to go down to 86. So we're actually only going to spike up to the average and then down below, up to the average and down below, and that goes for our lows as well. So the lower to the mid 60s and the lower to the mid 80s is going to be our range for our highs and lows for over the next 10 days. And our precipitation chances, I'd really say late Sunday, and then again Wednesday night heading into Thursday, it's going to be your best. Let's play a fun game. How many 90-degree days do you think Charlotte has had this year?
This year I will say
I'm gonna
7.
90-degree days.
90-degree
Yeah,
days.
so I'm going to give you a hint. 30 of 31 days in July were 90 plus.
Oh, I was way off.
I'm going to go 46.
Ooh, that's a good guess.
Oh, are we playing prices right? Can't go over.
Nope, no price. You have to declare that beforehand.
All right. I will say, I'll say 32.
Okay. Jeb, that was a great guess, because 51 is the total that you can see here. Last year, 47. So we did pass that. But what's interesting is it was during the month of August that we only had 6 of those. So most of those happened in June and July. And our average highs actually during the month of August only averaged to 84 degrees. That is the 14th coolest highs in Charlotte August history, and that goes back 146 years of record keeping. We actually almost had more 70s than the 90s, so that's just so unusual. And I'm showing you some of this stuff because actually a viewer reached out to us wanting to know this, and there might be more of you that want to know about this as well. And the average last 90-degree day, by the way, is September 12th. So the way the forecast is going, I already showed you 10 days, and we finish August this weekend. Realistically, we might have the 90s in the rearview mirror, but there's always a chance. October 13th is the latest that we ever hit it, and I personally remember when I first came here in 2019, we had 6 days in a row to end September and begin October that were 98 plus. So there's always that chance that it comes back, but looking at the long-range outlooks, things are definitely a little bit on the cooler side here. I can show you this. This is the next 6 to 14 days. If these maps are blue, it will show you that it's likely going to be below normal to normal. If they're darker blue, it's going to be chilly. But we're not quite there, and that absolutely astronomically below normal. Okay, so I'm going to end this. I'm going to wrap it up with a bow with our rain chances. First off, it is going to start to feel a little bit more humid, especially by the end of the weekend. These values come down to that fall comfort and then back up to more of that air you can wear by Thursday, and then it should come back down. So we're also hitting the time of the year that you're going to have a lot more of these comfortable days that are going to pop up and surprise you, which will make the humid days feel worse. It's all about about perspective the way things go. I already showed you some of the best rain chances going forward, but if you have any plans across the Carolinas, it's a much better chance for rain in the mountains and South Carolina for tomorrow. And then if you're going to the North Carolina beaches, things actually have a good shot at staying dry besides the usual pop-up storm from the sea breeze. And down in South Carolina, it looks to be wetter on Saturday, but then the same forecast you see in Wilmington. All right, now let's get to the futurecast. Here's what it looks like today. Whole lot of nothing. Zip, zilch, nada. Just absolute greatness. Then by tomorrow morning, here comes the cloud cover. Now, I think that we're going to see a little bit of rain in the morning. This model's doing kind of a crummy job at picking up on it, so I'm going to show you this one. This shows a little disturbances down to the south, and the reason why that we were actually calling for not a great Friday earlier on is because it looked like this rain and this cloud cover was going to be here for Friday, but instead it dove to the south. It slowed down. So I think that if you live in our South Carolina counties, so that would be York, Chester, Lancaster, and Chesterfield County, you will have a chance for rain in the morning. And then you notice by the middle of the afternoon, between about 3 to 8, let's call it 2 to 8 actually, that's where you could have a chance for a pop-up shower or a thunderstorm. And then once you get to the evening, things will start to wind down. Now for the back end of the forecast, it's not being picked up, but here's Sunday heading into the later afternoon. You are going to have a chance for this cloud cover to develop some showers and storms. So even though our futurecast isn't showing anything right now, things are starting to stack up that our best chance is going to be really late day. So you can't always trust all the models. So here's the last of our 7-day forecast. I'll show it to you one more time. Today's actually the warmest day that we have over the next 7 to 10, and then the lower 80s really taking over. What is your favorite temperature range, Jeb? What would you say? What's your favorite?
I like it when it's in like high 50s, low 60s.
Oh,
That
wow.
shocked me. I didn't expect that.
Yeah, no.
Really?
Yeah, no,
What are you doing here?
Dude,
Yeah.
it's been tough. I like running, and it's been brutal. It's been
boy.
brutal. But I was going to ask you, Chris, and I was going to wait at this actually opportunity. So some of us have cleared their entire schedule tomorrow to watch college football.
Yes, yeah.
Is this one of those days where I'm going to look outside my window and feel guilty about staying inside all day, or will I feel good? Is it going to be cloudy? I mean, you mentioned some chances for rain.
You're going to have to bring the TV outside.
All right, it's
No.
one of those days I got to bring it out. Like,
Just
what do you think?
open up the window.
Okay.
That's
all
what I was thinking.
Although it is
that's good.
warm,
It's
warm, and if you like a high for a 60, then it might be too
I know.
warm for you anyway.
I need that fall weather now.
No, but think about it. I think also since we have nearby systems, you will pick up a little bit of a breeze through the window because oftentimes air compresses and goes through narrow ways. So you're going to have the occasional nice breeze that comes through, and you will have times that will be cloudier. So it's a mix of cloud and sunshine with some cloudy periods, and there's a slight chance for a storm. So absolutely, man. Like
All right.
I'm going over to a friend's place for a birthday and to watch Florida State for the first 6 minutes before they're down by 21.
This is the optimist over here.
Do you know what? Like, no, it's I am such an optimist. Like to a fault, but. For Florida State, when you're playing like a peewee team, I'm just going to be a realist until I see something different. But you know, college, you can change so fast in a
I
year.
was going to say, it's a new team this year.
We were undefeated the year before, so might as
How
well.
does it, just ride the wave.
Yeah, do you know what? Yeah, but the
Just
way
do it like
down
that.
hurts.
Sunday night, because Labor Day is the next day, I got the Miami Notre Dame game. So I'm hoping it really won't matter because I will be watching. And you got some rain.
Yeah,
on Sunday
and
anyway,
and
tonight.
it's we also don't have those like 60-80%. So like if there could be a friend in Iredell County that's dumped on and you have nothing in Northern Mech. So it just really depends where you are. This all in all is just a great Labor Day weekend. It's a pretty solid. So it's pretty much where you expect to be. Just occasional rain. As I've only been here 7 years. I've also had this forecast where it's all lower to the mid 90s, super humid with big storm chances. So this is pretty good.
This is pretty good. All right. Well, enjoy your college football viewing
I will try.
all weekend. and then it looks like just barbecue weather any day this week.
Yeah, Monday for sure, no rain. That's the only day that 100% it's not going to rain. So that's the best for a dry grill. But I think really Saturday and Sunday, most of us in Charlotte will be dry for the first half.
All right. Sounds good. Like the game plan for all. Happy viewing once again. Thanks, Chris Mulcahy of the Live Impact Studio. Right now, 9:12 is the time. Let's go ahead and take a quick 2-minute break here on Live Impact News on WCNC Plus. We'll be right back. It is just about 9:15 here on a Friday morning. You're watching Live Impact News on WCNC Plus. Here are your local headlines right now. We are learning that crews are searching for a missing swimmer at Mountain Island Lake. This is in Gaston County. Huntersville Fire telling us that they are assisting in the search. It began last night. At this time, the person's identity has not been released, but we have reached out to Gaston County officials for more information. We're waiting to hear back. Also, this morning, we are learning more about the stabbing suspect that is scheduled to be in court today. DeCarlos Brown was indicted on one charge of first-degree murder for a stabbing death that happened on the Metro Links, the Links Blue Line, last weekend. Our Richard Devane has the very latest this morning on Live Impact News on WCNC Plus.
Yeah, good Friday morning, everyone. Basically, that suspect, DeCarlos Brown, is expected in court for his first appearance today. All this as folks who normally would ride cats are concerned about their safety. We're learning new details about the deadly stabbing of Charlotte Blue Line that claimed the life of 23-year-old Era Zuruska. Court documents reveal that Zuruska boarded the light rail Friday and sat across from the suspect, 34-year-old DeCarlos Brown. After about 4 minutes, investigators say Brown suddenly pulled a pocket knife and stabbed Zuruska 3 times in the throat. She died at the Camden Road station here in South End. That killing has rattled residents and raised fears about using public transit. Many say they're worried about the unprovoked attack and it'll discourage some other folks from riding light rail or even spending time in Uptown.
From what I understand about the attack, it was unpredicted. He didn't give any signs that he was having a crisis, and he just turned around and stabbed her.
I think I was walking at like 10 o'clock 2 nights ago, and it was like empty. And maybe I'm just overthinking it, but I'm like, oh, I think less people are out. My girlfriend was telling me just like, I'm scared to take the rail now.
For its part, CAT says it is working with authorities. They say their system is safe. They also say they're considering hiring even more security agents to possibly be on their trains. We're right here in the South End. This is Richard Devane. We'll send it back to you.
And North Carolina is taking steps to prevent violence. This is your third headline this morning, not just locally, but globally. The State Bureau of Investigation launching the first statewide behavioral threat assessment unit, or BETA, that happened back in 2018. The team partners with law enforcement and schools to identify concerning behavior, and they try to do this early. So their goal, they say, is to understand what could be happening in someone's life before they turn to violence. And now BETA's approach to spotting red flags is being used by threat assessment teams around the world. To South Carolina. South Carolina taking a big step forward in school safety this morning. This after years of advocating. The state now has enough funding to place a school resource officer in every school. Our Anna King spoke to officials on their latest efforts.
Hey, look at me.
Yep.
Camera's not even here. Please start by saying your first and last name for me.
Sure. It's Joe Burke, Joe-Burke, Chief Communication Officer, Fort Mill School District.
Perfect. So just jumping right into things, South Carolina, schools across the state just received funding for PIOs, for school resource officers in the schools. Could you talk a little bit about the importance there of having them in the school?
Sure. Actually, there's been a push for the last couple of years about getting funding for SROs beyond just traditional districts working with their local law enforcement and paying for them. So our district actually previously benefited of that before this particular program, so that we were able to provide SROs at all of our schools in the district except one, just because the way the funding model was set up. That'll be changing soon. We do have an armed security officer who happens to be a retired police officer at that particular one school, but that's a very important aspect of our schools. There are a lot of different features for that. Obviously, safety is the first one on that. Having an officer on campus to quickly respond to any issues, regardless of the level of it, is very important for school safety, but they play a lot of other key roles in our districts and schools as well.
And so this was amazing timing, especially considering what happened yesterday in Minnesota. So could you talk a little bit about just how parents could feel having this level of safety at the school?
Sure. Obviously, what we saw in Minnesota and in other cities before that is a tragedy, and that's something that we want to try to ensure never happens in our school district. Districts in general, even before the SRO programs, did a lot of training with our staff. We have built-in security protocols that are in place to address situations like that and a number of other situations, but having a law enforcement officer on campus at every school is something that is very important. Should a tragedy like that ever occur in a school that has an officer there, they are the fastest response to that. So having them in that very isolated location of the school, they're able to get there quick and respond to it. We've had issues where a crisis go may have been announced or something in our district, and our officers, in conjunction with our administration, have been able to respond quickly to those incidents. Again, that plays a very important role, having them in there. And honestly and truthfully, even for the general safety feel of our students and our staff, knowing that officer is on campus is something that gives them a little bit of that extra confidence in the security of a school.
I was going to ask about that, just because I did ask about parents feeling comfortable with that, but what about the students and the staff who are really at the schools? Could you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, not only having them stationed at the schools gives that extra level of comfort to students and staff to know that they're there to assist with any issues possible, but also all of our SROs are very involved in our schools, and they're very visible in our schools. They oftentimes have personal relationships with the students and with the staff, so that adds another layer to that comfort of being at school and knowing that things are safe. Having that interactions there, having that availability there is very key to that role, and it's something we're very appreciative of in all of our SROs, that they take on those roles in all of our schools.
And then any other additional safety measures in place that you could talk about?
Well, so I can't get into specifics, but I will say this, having the SRO here also acts as a conduit directly to our law enforcement, especially in a district like ours that we cover multiple municipalities. So, we have SROs that are from different law enforcement agencies, and that allows those schools to have a direct conduit to those individual law enforcement agencies to discuss things and help with increasing measures at our schools, and helping with drills and working through things, and making sure that our staff and they will respond appropriately and in conjunction with each other if there ever is an issue. So, and again, that's just an extra level you get from having them at the school versus if you're just bringing them in for a training every once in a while, or you're going to the office to work with them, the law enforcement office to work with them. them. Having them on site, building those relationships is really key in preparing for emergencies, and then obviously the quick response that they can offer by being here.
And then you said you all have had them at the schools, most of the
Yes.
schools, for how long?
Yeah, we've had SROs in place for a number of years at different schools. We've been able to increase that over time, and we've gotten to the point where this year, like I said, we have an SRO station at every one of our campuses with the exception of the one that has an armed defender officer there. Prior to being able to put SROs at all of our schools, we had defender officers in place at the schools we didn't have SROs. So that's kind of expanded over the last few years, and we're glad to see that expansion and be able to place those officers in there.
Perfect. That's all the questions I have for you. Anything else?
No, I think good.
Awesome.
That work?
Kills it again. For me.
Sergeant Pierre King.
Will you spell that for me?
Pierre. Last name is King.
And your position?
I'm the school resource officer at York Comprehensive High School.
Perfect. So just jumping into things, could you walk us through what a day-to-day looks like for you?
Well, we start in the morning with basically getting all the kids in off the bus and the cars, and our goal is to make sure all the kids go through our metal detectors. We have 2 entry points, one for the car riders, one for the bus riders, and we do that on purpose so all the other doors are secure. I walk around to make sure all our doors are secure, and when everybody gets in, everybody goes to class. Then once everybody's in class, I make sure all the doors are secure again, because it can't be too safe. So obviously once everybody gets in class, I just continue walking the hallways to make sure there's everybody where they're supposed to be.
And so this is a very, very important role here in the schools, especially following the incident that happened yesterday, the tragedy that happened in Minnesota,
Yes.
where they did not have an SRO at the school.
Okay.
South Carolina was just approved for funding that will now put SROs in every school that does not have them in the state. Could you talk a little bit about the importance there?
Well, as you see, we need them. We need everybody in every state, every school. You can never have too much safety, I think. We build, our presence alone, I think kind of changed people's mindset of who want to do negative things. And that's why I think we belong in every school. And sometimes we need 2 in some certain schools, but we need 1 in every school for sure.
And then so when it comes to building that relationship with students and parents and faculty and staff, could you talk a little bit about that?
That's number 1 to me. I think when you build that relationship with people, sometimes people don't have other people that they can talk to. So I make it a point every day when I'm dealing with kids, if they're by themselves, I go make them talk to me. Because you never know what they're going through at home, at school, friendships. And I think when you build that relationship with them, then they'll know they can come and talk to you about anything that's bothering them. And I might change their mindset of something if they was going to do anything negative. So that's why it's important to make sure you do that each and every day we come to the building.
And the very first question, you walked us through all the steps that you take. You're crossing your I's, dotting your T's. How important is it for you to not miss a step?
Because it is what it is. You want to make sure every day A through Z is the same way, because you get too comfortable sometimes, that's when something could happen. But if you do everything you're supposed to do, A through Z, normally it's going to turn out a good day. Everybody's going to come to the building safe, and everybody's going to go home safe. That's including myself, the staff, the students, everybody inside of all our school district buildings here, and that's our goal each and every day.
That's all the questions I have for you. Anything else you want to add here?
Oh, no. Thank you guys for doing this. I'm glad you guys are bringing awareness to what we need to make our schools more safer.
Perfect. Awesome.
And that was our Anna King, previously recorded interviews with school resource officers for South Carolina schools. That in the wake of what was happening in Minneapolis, Minnesota, with the school shooting at Annunciation Catholic School. We brought those interviews to you in its entirety, those raw versions, so you can capture all of the sound bites there. We are following today some live events marking 20 years since Hurricane Katrina hit the Gulf Coast. Of course, devastating areas from New Orleans to Mississippi. It looks like they are getting ready for some of their events happening this morning, including the one that's about to start there in Mississippi. We are going to bring those to you live as they get started. But first, let's go ahead and take a break here on Live Impact News. 2 minutes away. We'll be right back. And right now, you are looking in live at an event, anniversary event marking 20 years since Hurricane Katrina hit Gulfport, Mississippi. 20 years today, can you believe it? So this is the start of their commemoration event here on Live Impact News on WCNC Plus. We thank you for joining us here every morning from 9 to 11 as I bring you whatever we have cooking that is live happening now from the local level to the state, national, and international. Of course, the big news today, one of the big stories today is the 20-year anniversary. And as we reflect here on WCNC Plus and look back, our Brad Panovich, who was working here in Charlotte at the time, he used to work in New Orleans back at a time, so he went back to cover the storm himself. Brad sharing his personal pictures from 2005 and talking to a former meteorologist as well. So that is tonight. Hope you tune in. It is a special here on WCNC Plus at 6:30. And back out here now, just about 9:30 again. Thank you for joining us here on Live Impact News on WCNC Plus. Also, of course, we know that New Orleans was decimated. It felt like a complete disaster zone. And so they also have an anniversary event marking the day. This is happening live as well. Their commemoration event out of New Orleans happening at the Fort Jackson Museum and Welcome Center. Let's go ahead and listen in here on Live Impact News on WCNC Plus.
Thank you, Dr. White. Let us now prepare in reverence our hearts and minds for the prayer of the hour brought to us by Reverend Robert Jackson.
From the 107th Psalm, we find these words. Oh, that men would praise the Lord for his goodness and for his wonderful works to the children of men. And let them sacrifice the sacrifices of thanksgiving and declare his works with rejoicing. For he commandeth, and he raiseth the stormy wind, which lifteth up the waves thereof, that mount up to heaven. They go down again to the depths. Their soul is melted because of trouble. They reel to and fro, and stagger like a drunken man, and are at their wits' end. Then they cry unto the Lord in their trouble, and he bringeth them out of their distresses. He maketh the storm a calm, so that the waves thereof are still. Oh God, our Heavenly Father, we thank you. As we come together in the spirit of prayer and remembrance for this Hurricane Katrina, not only for its victims, but for those who rose in new fashion. God, we thank you for this Crescent City Funeral Directors and Embalmers Association. We thank you for the Orleans Embalmers, the Louisiana Morticians and Funeral Directors. We thank you for the Katrina Memorial Foundation. We thank you for the city leadership. Thank you for our mayor, these councilmen. And God, as we come, help us never forget the lesson of the hour. Dress it up is not our home. But, oh God, we thank you that you have a home prepared for us. We thank you for the kindness of those folks that have gathered in this place to make a place for these, our brothers, our sisters, our aunts, our uncles. We thank you for them. We thank you for their spirit. We remember them today, and we will never forget them. And as long as we remember them, we've never lost them. God bless us now as we move forward. Here we are, 20 years past, and God, you're still keeping us. God, you're still blessing us. God, you're still making a way for us. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Bless us, strengthen us. And God, we will be careful to give you the praise, the glory, and the honor. This we ask in the strong, the mighty, the majestic, the magnificent name of Jesus. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Jackson, for that powerful and inspiring prayer. And now for the occasion, please welcome Sandra Rhodes Duncan and Orrin Duncan from the Katrina Memorial Foundation.
Say a few words. It's been 17 years. It's been 17 years since we put this resting place for the named and unnamed remains from Katrina. It was a very, very hard battle to get this done. Very. I'm proud. I'm proud of my mama. I'm proud of New Orleans for doing something for the people we lost. So when you look at it, look at yourself, because everybody out here made this possible. Okay? And these people, we would love to return to their families. Okay? But where we can't, we're taking really good care of them. And they got the best view in the city. Thank you.
Thank you, Orrin. He didn't know that he was going to do this, but I thought he did a fabulous job. Orrin, you reminded us of what it means to be human. To speak not from a script, but from the heart. We felt you, We heard you, and we are inspired by you. Thank you very much. And now, as is our tradition, the official welcome will be delivered by our Commander-in-Chief of the City of New Orleans, the Honorable Mayor LaToya Cantrell.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, good morning. Good morning. And thank you all so much for being here. You know, with in the spirit of reverence in which this day is called for, it really speaks to each and every one of you, as Oren mentioned, period. To all of our elected officials who are here, members of the New Orleans City Council currently, thank you. Members of the New Orleans City Council throughout, Councilwoman Guidry, I see you. Councilman Arnie Felco, thank you for being here. State Representative Mina, I know you're here. Mandy, thank you so much. Council General Semple, thank you for being here. But we're here really in the spirit of gratitude and grace. People make things happen. And we know that our embalmers and funeral directors from across Louisiana, the Louisiana Morticians and Funeral Directors Association, you know that the Crescent City funeral directors who are assembled here today, at every single level and at every single turn, never wavered when it was determined that we needed a resting place for 100 souls that mattered. And we know that on this day, 20 years ago, August 29, 2025, our city and our lives were forever changed. But 20 years later, we stand and we sit here united. We're not united in faith, but united in real purpose. And it's been because of each and every one of us that are here and that are throughout the city of New Orleans who made sure that every single one of those 20 years later, New Orleans is still here, New Orleans still stands, and New Orleans is truly positioned, not only as we have evolved, but we're empowered for the next 20 years. I don't know about you, but I'm honored to be a part of the number. Every one of those 20 years, standing and toiling and giving, being selfless and sacrificing whatever necessary to ensure that New Orleans came back better and stronger than ever before. So while we can acknowledge the progress, we also can acknowledge we have ways to go. But you have to be thankful, and it has to be rooted in gratitude in terms of how far we've come. So
you're watching live right now a press conference, an event happening in New Orleans commemorating 20 years of Katrina, which WCNC Plus is also remembering tonight with our own special and our own Brad Panovich, looking back at his time while he was here in Charlotte. He also used to cover weather in New Orleans, so he will also reflect on Katrina and the devastation it left behind 20 years ago. Back out here in the Live Impact studio, we need to take a quick 2-minute break. We'll be right back with the latest from Minnesota and that tragedy that happened at a Catholic school, killing 2 children. We'll be right back. We are back here at Live Impact News on WCNC Plus as we come up on 9:45. I'm Jane Monreal. We thank you for watching here on the WCNC Plus app. As we turn this morning to Minneapolis, Minnesota, where the community is continuing to grapple with Wednesday's tragic mass shooting at Annunciation Catholic School, the first week of school that killed now 2 children, injuring 18 others. Carla Rogner from our Tegna partner in Minneapolis this morning for us live at the scene. And Carla, we know the families of the 2 are publicly speaking out. We also know we can see the memorial building behind you.
Yeah, that memorial is certainly building behind us here. And, this is all happening on a pretty busy road, but there's just a certain quietness and seriousness in the air here this morning now that the weight of this tragedy is really starting to settle in the community. And we know an 8-year-old and a 10-year-old were killed. We now know that that was Fletcher and Harper. And I want to show you, we were here around the same time yesterday. People were just starting to place flowers down, and now the entire front of the church is just covered in flowers, candles, and we've seen some really powerful moments out here this morning. Just minutes ago, a police officer came and set flowers down. Police officers have been giving hugs to families. Families are out here. A lot of people have been kneeling and praying. It looks like there's a priest out here praying right now. Just another few minutes ago, there was also a healthcare worker out here praying as well. A lot of people are bringing their children here, and a lot of these notes are addressed to Harper and Fletcher. There's 2 crosses at the front of the church here. Yesterday it said that they were reserved for the names of the victims. They've just brought them back out, and they now say Harper and Fletcher, and just a lot of really powerful moments. Another thing that I thought was really just hard to see is in the middle of all of this is a massive teddy bear, and on it has Fletcher's name with a note that says, "I'll love you forever, love Mom."
Oh my gosh, it just really, it does break your heart. We know Fletcher's father told everybody and told parents, of course, to quote, give your kids a big hug. How are families finding strength to speak out about their children?
It's hard to even imagine, but Fletcher's down here yesterday with the school principal. It looks like there is a lot of support around him and a lot of support from this school community and this neighborhood here. Fletcher's dad was just right in front of the church where this all happened by the Virgin Mary statue here, sharing how his young child was just such a kind, playful boy, and they're really going to miss seeing him grow up into the young man that he was becoming. Harper's family's also shared a statement. She has a sister. They said they're just needing to grieve together as a family, but they also wanted to share that she was bright and joyful and deeply loved, and they don't want her story to be forgotten as just another tragedy. They want her story to create some change here.
And out of tragedy, that is unfortunately when we do see change. Carla, what can you say about the other victims, the 18 others who were injured? Some were still listed in critical condition yesterday. What's the latest there?
Yeah, so we know of those 18 victims who survived the shooting, 15 of them were children. The other 3 were adults, but they were in their 80s. We know this morning that there are still 8 people in the hospital. 7 of them are children. One of them is one of those adults in their 80s. And we do know that one of the children is still in critical condition, which is last we heard as of yesterday. This afternoon around noon here in Minneapolis, those health officials at Hennepin Healthcare, which is where most of those victims are right now, they're expected to do another update and share more about how those victims are doing. But yesterday they did share some good news, and that's that all victims who are still in the hospital are expected to survive. But of course, one can only imagine the trauma that all of these children who were going through.
Yeah, just like you said, it is unimaginable, but we can see the community coming together, and I suppose in their faith, they do find some strength. We appreciate the live report, Carlin. Thank you for bringing us those images. Appreciate your time this morning from Minneapolis, Minnesota. All right, time right now is about 9:50 here on Live Impact News on WCNC Plus. We thank you for watching. We're going to take a quick 2-minute break here on Live Impact News on WCNC Plus. We'll be right back. Here at 9:51, you're watching Live Impact News on WCNC Plus. Thank you for watching. Wrapping up this first week of school, CMS is scheduled to hold a press conference, give us a bit of a debrief on how it's going, and looking forward and looking and reflecting on this first week of school for CMS students. And you know what? While we're talking about first week of school and CMS, someone who can relate and give it to us in real talk is our own Lisa Washington, which, by the way, I can't believe this is your first time here in the Live Impact studio. Welcome.
Same. Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. Jeez, this is so different
I know,
from our
isn't it
studio.
great?
I love it.
I know,
in here.
it's roomy. I mean, it's roomy
bright.
enough. It's bright.
Not as chilly as the studio.
Oh yeah, well,
that's the whole
I
nother
know.
story.
No, it does get chilly. I usually bring a little bit of a space heater at times. But so Lisa, you know, I know we had a crew go to your house on Monday because that's when your kiddos started. And do they like the camera? Are they used to it?
You know,
all?
here's the
It's
thing.
like reality TV.
Jane, yeah. So I have two children. My daughter is going to 6th grade, so first week of 6th grade.
Oh, that's
She was not interested at all in any cameras being in our house Monday morning. On the other hand, I have a 7-year-old who is now a 2nd grader, and he loved it. He was excited about it. Yeah, so that was that. But I don't think I would ever do that again. It was a little stressful,
Wasn't it? Yeah, I mean, yeah. Tell us, like, because the process, you're doing television, and then you're also getting the kids off to school. So take us behind the scenes a little bit.
So first of all, let me paint the picture for you.
Please.
And that, as you know, on the one hand, I'm a news anchor, so that's what I do when I'm at work is anchor the news. When I'm not doing that, I'm a mother.
You're a mom.
Monday morning was combining both of those.
Sure.
So it was juggling and scheduling and balancing and trying to make it look good because cameras were there.
Right. Yeah, it sounds good in theory.
Exactly, until you're actually executing it. But we planned ahead. So Sunday night, I mean, you're looking forward to back to school all summer, right?
Yes.
The kids don't want to go back, but they're kind of looking forward to it.
New clothes, seeing some friends.
Haircuts, seeing friends, got to get the skincare for the 12-year-old. All the things
all
had
the
to be
things.
planned.
Okay,
Yes.
tween.
So, oh my gosh. So that happened. We planned very well. And then Monday morning, cameras showed up and we were at it. I was trying to remember gentle parenting because cameras were there, you know. So I think about that.
That's good.
But
That's
no,
good.
things went well. Things went really well. Thankfully, we got up early. Only a few hiccups. My son wanted to change his outfit, the thing that we picked out.
Hey, you know, that's life, though. That's real.
Someone told me years ago, don't argue with kids about what they want to wear. So I didn't. You don't want to wear jeans? Fine, we'll wear the shorts. But we had to wait for them to dry before we could put them on.
Oh, okay. Of course.
Yes.
There's got to be something going on. So you get them off to school on Monday,
Got
right?
them off to school. Cameras were even in my car as I was driving
Wow.
to 2 schools. That took a lot longer than I anticipated. An hour to drop off 2 kids on the first day.
Is it the drop-off line?
It's the drop-off line. Yeah, it's
drop-off
intense.
line.
It
I
really
know.
is. And here's the thing. I don't do this every day, right? Because I'm a morning
you're
news
here.
anchor. So shout out and hats off to those who do that every year. But they've been on the bus for the rest of the week, so that's perfect.
Oh, okay. All right. Very good. I was going to say, how does that work then?
Yes.
All right. So first week of school then, we're here on Friday. Are they somewhat acclimated to their schedule and going through the hallways?
I think they're getting acclimated. Again, it's a new year. And I think this is probably the easiest week, or so says my daughter, because there's not a lot of homework.
No homework,
It's
okay.
just making sure you have the right supplies. Now, that's something I can say that took me and maybe other parents by surprise, too. The list of school supplies.
What?
And the specificity of them. I mean, we had to have Cal notebooks for 6th grade math. That's the black and white composition notebooks. Apparently they're called Cal notebooks.
They're called Cal notebooks.
Who knew,
Okay.
right?
I like that. It's I saw those notebooks in the store. I'm like, oh wow, they still
Cal
use these
notebooks.
Cal notebooks now. And
Funny
now you know.
story. My husband's like, oh, I'll get her supplies. Don't worry, I'll take her. They got the wrong supplies. They got wide ruled and not college ruled. So mom had to go back to the store to get the supplies.
So
we
many
needed.
things.
Yeah. Hopefully he's not listening now.
Shout out Hubs.
Right?
All right, so everyone's good to go. Yeah, I mean, so what are their extracurricular activities? Do they want to get involved in anything?
Right. So my daughter, it's gymnastics.
Oh, I did gymnastics.
Did you?
I did.
So she hasn't
at 8
decided
years old,
though.
starting at 8.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah.
She hasn't decided if she wants to continue gymnastics or do something else. I mean, we've done gymnastics for, gosh, almost 7 years now, so I'm kind of hoping we keep with that. We shall see.
Got to stick with it.
Yes. My son, we're still figuring out. So he's 7. For years, because he traveled to gymnastics, you know, we just had to bring him along for to support his sister, who's a built-in cheerleader. So we'll see what he's going to do.
That's sweet. Now, you and I talked way back when, over the summer, a little while ago, about an instrument. Didn't you you played a little bit, and you
played
thought
the flute years ago.
And did you stick with it?
I did not.
And do you regret it?
I kind of wish I would have kept up with
I
it.
know.
My mother played the flute. I started in middle school back in Bennettsville, but I didn't keep up with it.
I played piano.
Yes.
And I also still can read. I can still read music.
Same, yes.
And I went back and forth because it is kind of hard, and you don't like to do the exercises and the scales, and all you want to do is play, Eagles or Journey or something like.
Yes, so simple.
I was playing like the Rose, Bette Midler, but maybe getting the kids into an instrument.
I'm
What
really
do you
hoping,
think about
because
that?
I think the left brain, right brain is fantastic for kids and helps with learning in ways that we don't even know, but very beneficial. So I'm hoping that is the case. Anything that makes the school year go smoothly. Again, this is the first week. We have 180 days.
We don't want to do too much.
No, we don't want to do too much. We just want, I say to them, make my job easy as
Please, help
your
me
parent.
help you.
Help me help you. I'm the
That's what
first
it's about.
parent, the first teacher. It starts at home. Let's make this go as easy as possible.
Yeah, and when the challenges of, say, gymnastics come up, like I can't get my back handspring.
Oh, yes.
That you got to stick with it.
The back walkover.
The back
we
walkover.
worked on the back walkover for so long.
And she got it?
She got it.
See, you got to, and those lessons of sticking with it. I know my nieces, they're from freshman high school down to kinder.
Okay.
And so there are levels of adjustments.
Oh, for sure.
That they have
Yes.
that they're going through. It's fun to watch from afar.
I'm certain.
All right. So, all right, Lisa Washington here in the Live Impact studio.
Thank you so much.
You
Great
think
to
it's
be
been
here.
good?
Yeah, I am enjoying this. I know you're waiting to hear from CMS. They're going to give an update this morning about the first week. I had the pleasure of speaking with the superintendent, Dr. Crystal Hill.
You did. You had a nice, lengthy conversation.
I learned a lot. I mean, I thought I knew a lot about CMS, but I learned a lot more. And they really have some programs in place for this school year that I think many parents will be pleased to know. The technology has improved with the ways that you can communicate with your teachers or your kids' teachers, and even the bus. My kids, I mentioned, are on the bus, tracking that. I'm like a helicopter mom now, tracking them.
Oh, really?
Yes. So certainly I expect that we're going to hear some great things coming from them about how this first week has gone. I know the kids have to watch some safety videos, and there's talk about new things, the new terminology to keep kids safe, the I love you guys.
Yeah, what is the I love you guys? Explain this to us again.
Obviously, we are very much aware of the situation that happened in Minnesota this week. Very unfortunate there. But I Love You Guys actually was developed by a national nonprofit that many school systems have adapted. And it's basically using simple language that kids understand, that in the event of an emergency, here is what you do. Things like, hold, shelter in place, if we need to leave the school, if we need to get under our desk, depending on what the situation warrants. So it's called I Love You Guys, and there are 5 actions that kids will be familiar with of what they need to do in the event of an emergency.
Amazing that this training is necessary during these times, and
certainly,
in the modern day. I don't know about you, but I went to school a long time ago, and things were much different.
It just
back
wasn't
then.
the case. I mean, I had a conversation with my daughter driving through carpool to pick up my son, and she's talking about if there's an active shooter situation. When I was in 6th grade, we had a tornado drill, if any, a fire drill, and that was the extent of it. It just shows you how much times have changed for sure, but we just had it as if it were a normal conversation, because that's what it's become.
Yeah, no, you have to adapt, and these are the times we live in, and for better, for worse, technology helps us
Yes.
and brings our world that much smaller. And so as we look at, situations like Minneapolis.
That made me think of something else that you said, technology. I did a story this morning about the change in North Carolina law. Now kids, they have smartwatches, they have cell phones, but now they have to be off and away during the school day because lawmakers want to limit distractions.
Yeah.
So the technology, you cannot have it with you. So you can bring it to school, but it has to be off and it has to be away. And I know there's some concern among parents. I want to be able to reach my kid if there's an emergency. And one of the things that Dr. Crystal Hill mentioned during our interview is that if, in fact, there is an emergency, the last thing you want is your kid texting you because they will be distracted and not listening to the instructions from the school,
Makes
from
sense.
their teacher.
Yeah. Do your
So
kids
they
have
ask-
phones?
Oh, yes, they
Of
do.
course,
They
yes.
have phones. My 12-year-old wants a cell. No, she has a watch. Pardon me. She
Oh,
has
okay.
a watch, not a phone. She wants a phone. I don't think we're there yet. I don't think she needs a cell phone.
Right,
So, but yes, they do have those devices, so I have to remind them, make sure they are off, and then your backpack while you're at school.
All right, Lisa Washington, thanks for sharing. As
Thanks for having me.
Someone being in your position, doing what you do from a journalistic side, what it's like, and covering and talking to Dr. Hill, and then being mom.
Yes.
And taking a little peek inside your life.
Juggling all the things.
I know, you do it. You do it well. You make it look pretty
Thank you.
easy.
That's kind of you.
All right. Lisa Washington here in the Live Impact studio, making her debut at 10:02. And with that, as we await a live press conference, speaking of CMS, recapping the first week of school, let's go ahead and take 2 minutes here and take a quick break on Live Impact News. Thanks for staying with us. Welcome back to Live Impact News on WCNC Plus. Time right now is 10:05. Want to get you out to Wilmington, where Wilmington Police Department's holding a live press conference right now after the recent arrest of a man who put an illegal substance inside of food. He's answering questions right now from local media. Let's listen in. Live Impact News on WCNC Plus.
Test, which is not conclusive. It just gives the officer an idea of what we could be dealing with, especially for narcotics or poison or anything like that. So the presumptive test showed that it had the same compounds as other drugs. It may very well not be those drugs when it comes back from a lab. So that's where we are right now. So for us to say it's not absolute as to what it was, it definitely was a pill. because it was wet. The markings weren't readable. So, we're not going to jump to conclusions. We only listed the type of drugs that were, I think, released in the warrant because that's what they tested for in the street, but it may turn out to be something else.
So the street field tests basically are designed to test for compounds that make up illegal narcotics or narcotics in general. So it indicates the compounds, the chemical compounds are there. So there's no question, we're talking about drugs here. It's just getting to the point where it's isolated, identifying exactly what drugs are there. That's in progress right now with the lab.
Would it have been a lethal dose?
Hard to say. I not being a medical professional and not knowing specifics, how different folks metabolize things, I really can't say whether it would be lethal or not. There was not a huge amount, and I know that's kind of a broad term there, but yeah, I mean, it wasn't. We're talking 1 pill per container. So, and I don't know what the milligrams come up to be or anything like that. Again, a lot of that stuff's going to depend on the lab findings.
Just to confirm something you said earlier, you said you believe Mr. Yoakley stopped at Sheets because paramedics were already present there?
I believe so. So I believe the young ladies that are involved in this case, when they discovered the pills, they became very concerned and emotional, and I believe the 16-year-old involved was driving, and right now it looks like that due to concerns, fear, panic, if you will, made the decision to pull in there. So we think that decision was probably made by the juveniles to go to the gas station since they saw an ambulance or paramedic vehicle there.
And that was a live press conference from Wilmington PD. Dr. Crystal Hill, CMS Superintendent, now starting this live press conference, pretty much a debrief on what has transpired this first week of school for CMS students. Let's listen in on Live Impact News on WCNC+.
I'd like to thank our fantastic students and their families for their support, cooperation, and in a few instances, patience with us as we work through minimal issues that are bound to occur with any organization this size. Our students entered our campuses and our classrooms that were prepared, they were pristine, they were warm and inviting. They were greeted by bus drivers and school staff with smiling faces who were eager to answer questions and invite them to beautiful schools. Our phenomenal teachers are ready to start with our students on day one with engaging activities and instruction and information about classroom norms and expectations, which of course set the tone for an amazing school year. To share more with you about this week's academic pursuits, it is my pleasure to introduce Deputy Superintendent Dr. Melissa Balknight.
Good morning. And congratulations, team. Our first week of school is almost officially in the books. It's been a great week. This week has been filled with energy, connection, and new beginnings. Across our classrooms, we have seen students settling into routines, diving into their learning, and beginning to form relationships that will carry them through a successful year. Behind every smiling face and every small victory is the dedication of our teachers, our leaders, and staff who made this first week not only possible, but powerful. Our commitment to academics has been clear from day one. I've seen evidence of rigorous instruction, high expectations, and meaningful engagement happening across our schools. Students are already showing us that they are ready to rise to the challenge. I also want to celebrate how well our students have responded to expectations around personal technology devices. By keeping their devices put away during instructional time, students have created classrooms full of focus and collaboration. That choice matters. It protects the learning environment and ensures that every student can make the most of their time in class. This week, I've been inspired by the incredible work happening in our schools. Just to name a few highlights, at Starmount Academy, teachers have collaborated thoughtfully to design engaging and purposeful lessons for the upcoming school year, as evidenced in this week. Their intentional planning approach ensures that every core grade level instruction experience will be delivered with excellence to benefit all students. Students at Sedgefield Middle School kicked off the year strong by exploring their future aspirations and connecting their goals directly to their instructional objectives for the year. To continue on our workforce readiness, at J.T. Williams, 90 pounds of honey was harvested over the summer. Already in week 1, staff unveiled the plan for students to begin learning the process of making soap, lip balm, and lotion with nearly all the honey harvested. They've used it. These products will be available for sale in our local farmers market. Stay tuned for more information in the coming season. We encourage you to come out and support the students. These moments remind us that our schools are more than buildings. They are communities built on care, creativity, and possibility. I also want to thank our community for the support they have shown this week. We have had partners in our schools to welcome back students and staff. Classroom Central brought the fun and the school supplies to Hidden Valley Elementary School, treating teachers and students to an unforgettable day. Over at Briarwood Academy, Sir Purr and the Carolina Topcats cheerleaders turned up the excitement and welcomed our students with backpacks and lots of fun. As we wrap up this first week, let's carry forward the momentum we built. Each week is a new opportunity to grow, to learn, and to make a difference. If this week is any indication, this is going to be a remarkable year for our students. At this time, I would like to introduce Chief Operations Officer, Mr. Tim Ivey.
Thank you, Dr. Bognight. The first week of school has been a strong start to the 25-26 school year, and I want to extend my gratitude to our entire operations team for their dedication and effort. Each day, countless actions take place behind the scenes to ensure that students and staff arrive safely, are welcome into our schools, and have what they need to succeed. Your work does not go unnoticed. First is school safety. As you know, the safety of our students and staff is and will remain our top priority. During the first week, we introduced our new standard response protocol, I Love You Guys, to our students. This new addition to our layered approach to safety provides clear, consistent actions and language that schools use in the event of an emergency. I want to remind everyone that CMS will not tolerate behaviors from students, staff, or community members that compromise the safety of others. We are committed to ensuring that every student has the right to learn and every staff member the right to work in a safe and secure environment. Remember, safety is a shared responsibility. It requires partnerships of law enforcement, school staff, parents, students, and community. It is our duty to say something if we see or know something. Next, our school nutrition team began the year serving more than 25,000 free breakfasts and approximately 60,000 lunches each day. This year, 115 schools are participating in the community eligibility provision, allowing all students at those schools to receive free breakfast and lunch. Free breakfast is also available to every student across CMS, and we encourage families in non-CEP schools to complete the free and reduced lunch application form. In transportation, with more than 105,000 riders and 858 buses, the first few days brought some typical transportation challenges. Our team worked diligently to address these concerns and saw significant improvements each day. Morning on-time arrival times improved from 79.5% at the start of the week to 93% as of yesterday morning. That's a 13.5% improvement. While afternoon on-time arrivals improved from 72.5% to 88.5% with a 16% improvement. We will continue to see this type of improvement as we move into week 2 of school, and we appreciate everyone's patience and understanding as we hone in our transportation processes. Families are encouraged to download the Here Comes the Bus app and use Alpha Route via cmsk12.org/buses. And as a final reminder on transportation, it is both illegal and extremely dangerous to pass a stopped school bus while its stop arm is extended. In operations, our building services team has done an amazing job this week resolving issues quickly, and I'm happy to report that we have had no major facility issues. Thank you to this team for helping maintain comfortable learning environments that foster endless possibilities for our students and staff. In closing, overall, this has been an excellent operational start to the school year. The professionalism and commitment shown by every member of our operations team has set a strong foundation for the 25-26 school year. I will now introduce Nancy Brightwell, Chief Recruitment, Retention, and Talent Development Officer.
Thank you, Mr. Ivey. Good morning. This week, CMS teachers set the tone for excellence by welcoming students with energy, preparation, and heart. Their dedication and countless hours of unwavering commitment sends the strong message for a successful school year, and that has not gone unnoticed. We celebrate their incredible start and the impact that they're already making with our students. As we are starting the 25-26 school year, it's important to note that we have our lowest teacher vacancies in recent years. We started the first day with 67 less teacher vacancies than last year and 307 less than the year before. This marks a significant reduction in vacancies over the past 3 years. Today we have 198 vacancies remaining, which represents a 98% teacher fill rate. Not only are teacher positions filled, we're proudly welcoming 663 new teachers into our district. They participated in the Crown Academy, which is a premier teacher onboarding experience that sets CMS apart from surrounding counties. This onboarding experience enables our teachers to receive support and preparation for a strong start on day one, allowing them to welcome students and families into a wonderful and welcoming learning environment. We look forward to a great school year with continued support systems for our teachers, including instructional coaching and mentoring, professional development opportunities throughout the year. In fact, all teachers were engaged in professional development focused on academic excellence during the beginning of the year work days. Our CMS teachers uniquely also have housing resources available to support them through our At Home and CMS initiative. That concludes my remarks, and I'll turn it over to Dr. Hill for closing remarks.
Thank you so much, Chief Brightwell. As I mentioned earlier, it's been a great first week of school, and we could not have been without the commitment of all of our staff, students, families, and community. A quick reminder to all of our families, if you still have any questions about the new year or need assistance setting up your profile in Infinite Campus or Parent Square, please visit our back to school website at www.cmsk12.org/back-to-school for easy to follow instructions. Both Parent Square are listed amongst our top 10 things to know on the back to school website. Thank you so much for joining us this morning and for your support throughout this back to school season. We will take this opportunity to answer any questions that you may have, and at this time we will turn it over to Susan Vernon-Devlin, who is our Executive Director of Media Relations and Crisis Communications.
Okay. James?
Yeah, just any update on the process of signing families up for Infinite Campus? I know we got some numbers earlier in the week. Can you talk us to where that is at now?
We are using a new platform, so we have had some, as Dr. Hill has said, parents have had some questions, but we have had staff working throughout the weekend, late at night, to make sure that our students are getting registered and enrolled, and so that they can start immediately, and so our numbers are in a good place.
Terry?
Yes. Dr. Hill? Oh, yes. Good morning, everyone. Dr. Hill, it's been a great start to the school year, but what are some of the challenges that you are still facing as we embark upon this new year?
Thank you for that. Good to see you. The start of every year has challenges. One of the things that I was saying actually on the ride over here, and I was thinking about last year's first week of school and this year's first week of school. Last year went extremely well, but we did not have a lot of new. This year, we have a lot of new that's happened. So as mentioned, we've had the combination of Dorothy J. Vaughan Academy of Technology and Parkside. That was a combination site, which of course requires rerouting and busing and all of that. Our arts programs, Northwest School of the Arts, of course, we split that up to a separate elementary, middle, and high. So essentially those schools become new schools with new routes. So working through all of that is always a challenge. And then, of course, we have our new student information system, which is a great platform. And we learned a lot from districts that were early adopters, but we still are experiencing glitches. Whenever there's something new, you realize, oh my goodness, we didn't know that this didn't connect to this. For some weird reason, technology reason, these two things didn't speak to each other. So there's this little pocket of kids that for some reason didn't get routed on the bus or didn't get assigned to the correct school. So there are those type of glitches that we're experiencing that of course create a challenge. And then I think the other thing to go on top of that, it would be different if those things happen in a bubble without the normal activities of school. So you compound all of those things with the normal activities. We're still enrolling brand new students to the district, so that just creates some complexities. But as I mentioned earlier, and I'll continue to mention, we have outstanding staff members, great family and community, and so we've just received an outpouring of support. And this team, I just cannot speak enough to how much they have worked and worked and worked. And I know I'm going on and on and on, but I just can't say enough. One thing I think that is unique, that I think it's an area that we have really grown in, and that's working together as a team. So what I mean by that is it might be a technology issue, but the technology team is working very closely with the enrollment team and working very closely with transportation. Like, it's white glove treatment, as we like to say, the Crown experience, to make sure that it doesn't matter where the ball was dropped or where the glitch was, we're all coming together to make sure that we deliver for our families.
Thank you.
Question? Anybody got questions? Mary, anything? Charlton?
How do you think the new safety response will make schools safer in the event of a shooting like we saw this week?
That's a great question. I think the best part about I Love You Guys protocol is that it does provide clear, direct, concise information about exactly what to do in the case of an emergency. And so what we had seen in the past was we used a different level of lockdown. Like, we used the term lockdown for different types of emergencies. And so what we were seeing was students may get confused, and a parent or substitute on the campus or anybody there may not understand the level of severity with each of those. With I Love You Guys, it breaks it down. So it gives us the ability to go into a protocol called secure if we have external things happening in the community, as opposed to having to use that term lockdown. Thus, in the case that we do have a lockdown, we know that this is a serious event happening on campus, and it needs to be responded to in a particular way. So it gives us that ability to be able to do that. We also announce our drills now, and it allows our students and staff to become more more used to practicing through those in a processed way than just having an unannounced drill and not knowing if it's a reality or if it's a drill. So I think that's going to help us essentially with communication with families and with students with the new safety protocol.
Anything, Eli? Eli.
Kind of piggybacking off of the SRP, has that been able to be used in a real life situation yet this year? And if so, how effective was it?
Yes, we did have 3 schools that went into secure this week due to external situations that were happening outside. And so we've actually had that protocol put into place. Staff acted immediately, followed the directions to the T. We saw that protocol work exceptionally well.
Any other questions? Going once? Going twice? Okay. Well, since there are no more questions, we would like to make you aware that we'll be sending out a media advisory today for our data release, which will be happening next Wednesday, September 3rd at 1:30 p.m. in the afternoon at University Creative Arts Elementary School. Please When you see it, please respond in kind if you intend to be there. This is very important information. I'm sure Dr. Hill would like to embellish what I'm saying because she's very excited about what's going to happen.
Make sure you get there. You may not get a seat.
Thank you all for coming. Have a great day.
All right, seems like a lively press conference there from CMS leaders talking about the first week of school. Right now at 10:26, we're going to take a quick 2-minute break here on Live Impact News on WCNC Plus. Stay with us. And thanks for staying with us here, just about 10:30 on Live Impact News on WCNC Plus. I'm Jane Monreal, where we are giving you the live news on a not only local level around the Carolinas, but state, national, and international news. Of course, 20 years ago today, Hurricane Katrina caused so much death, destruction, and decimation. We are not just reminded of the human toll it took along those states, including New Orleans and Gulfport, Mississippi, but it also took a toll on thousands of pets and animals that were left behind during the evacuation. So right now we are joined by Cesar Perea, the Associate Vice President of Rescue at the American Humane Society. Cesar, your organization played a crucial role in what became the largest animal rescue. Take us back to 20 years ago today. What was that like?
Well, the teams were able to deploy. The American Humane at the time was the Red Star Animal Rescue Team. They were able to go in and work with partners, agency partners in the animal rescue part of it, and be able to set up a sheltering location. The Lamar Dixon Expo Center became one of the largest evacuation sites so far in U.S. history. So the American Humane was able to not only provide rescue in the field, in floodwaters, but also for the sheltering site in order to care for these animals that were evacuated. Some of them unfortunately left behind, and were able to provide food, shelter, and care for these animals until they were eventually reunited with their owners.
Amazing. I mean, and we're talking like another generation ago, where people are now knowing it as part of their history class, and the volunteer hours it took to rescue 5,000 animals. Share some of the rescue stories that happened over the 6 weeks then.
I mean, there are so many. It is just hard to think of specific stories of these evacuations that took place, and the rescue was just so massive. I have to say that the stories that really come to mind that really are impactful are, people that lost everything, lost their homes, were separated from their families, including their pets, and eventually being able to be reunited and know that their pets were okay, and were able to reunite them with their pets because they were at the evacuation center. And those reunifications, and just seeing people that are just so relieved knowing that their pets survived, and that, although they had lost everything, they'd lost their homes, all their belongings, to know that their pets were still there, which were members of their families, is just something that's really heartfelt, and always, it's always a great feeling working in the rescue environment. It's always something that you want to see, and something that American Humane strives for, is that the human animal bond is just so strong, and being able to be part of that is something that's just remarkable for not only myself personally, but also for the organization.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, and really, Katrina changed how the country responds to disasters involving animals, doesn't it? What specifically changed over the years?
What has really changed, and when we talk about disaster response, especially in the animal world, it's always pre-Katrina and post-Katrina, because that's how monumental, that's how impactful this event was for disaster response, especially in the animal world. What's really changed is that the federal government, FEMA, and local, state agencies are incentivized, and sometimes required to provide contingency plans for animal rescue and animal response. What we were seeing in Katrina, and I'm sure everyone, all your viewers have seen these videos of people on their rooftops waiting for someone to come rescue them, a lot of times spending days, if not weeks, hoping for rescue. And when rescue finally came, either the Coast Guard or whoever it was providing these rescues, would come down to try to rescue these people, and they would tell them, you have to leave your pet behind. And a lot of people said, sorry, I'm not leaving my pet. Like, I'm staying here. So I think that was one of the biggest parts that changed how we respond to these, is understanding that human animal bond, and knowing, people are not going to leave their pets behind, and that puts more human lives in danger. So what's really changed is the response, and the people involved in these responses understanding that, and knowing that it's critical for us to create contingency plans and rescue plans for people's pets, because it does affect human lives, people refusing to respond. So I think the big part of what really changed this event, or what changes came from this event, is providing those plans, those contingency plans for pets, and understanding that, that human animal bond is just so great that people are willing to risk their lives to save their pets or family members, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, Caesar, it's hurricane season right now, right? So, with an evacuation or a contingency plan, what are some of the other most critical things that pet owners should be considering right now?
One of the biggest things that people should really have in their mind is understanding that you may not have rescue people coming to save you right away. In a large scale disaster like Katrina, it could be several days or weeks before someone comes to rescue you. Of course, American Humane will be out there in the disaster, and doing the best with our partners to rescue people's pets. But that may not come for several days or several weeks. So I think it's important for people to understand that you need to have things in place to survive for, I'd say, at a minimum 2 weeks. And that means food, water, for yourself, for your family, not only for humans, but also for your pets. You need to make sure you have enough medications, food, shelter, make sure your animals are crate trained. You have crates available. Your tags for your dogs are up to date with up to date phone numbers. Your microchip is, if your animals should be microchipped, and those microchip information from the company that provided that should be up to date, names and phone numbers available. So if you do get separated and someone scans your pet, they can quickly get you on the phone and get your pet back to you, because that's our goal at American Humane when we go out and rescue, is we want to reunite you with your pets. And, if you end up at a Red Cross shelter or some type of evacuation site, it's really important that we get your pets back to you, because that's where your pets need to be. They need to be with you under your care, not only so you could provide the care that you need and that your pets need, but also for your emotional state. It's really devastating, and to be separated from your pet could just make things worse.
Caesar, here in the Carolinas, of course, Charlotte, we're in this interesting area because we definitely keep an eye on hurricane season as well as wildfire season. Your organization, American Humane Society, also conducting rescues through all kinds of natural disasters. Is there a difference in not only preparing for different types of natural disasters when it comes to, our pets and our furry friends? And is there a difference in the rescue approach?
There absolutely is a big difference. I live in Southern California, in Los Angeles, so I'm always prepared for fires. Fires are a little bit different in that there is some predictability as to which way the fire is moving, and you do get an opportunity to prepare a little bit more and be able to evacuate and know where you need to evacuate. Same things with the hurricanes. When they come on shore, you do have some time to prepare for that, and the preparations are very similar, but some small changes in between. For instance, in hurricane area, you want to make sure your pets are able to get away from anything that may come to them. For instance, they shouldn't be tied to a tree or to a fixed object. Their pets, your dogs, need to be able to get away from that. In some states, there's laws against not having your dogs tied during an event like that. So you need to make sure you're prepared and you move them with you, where they'll be able to get away from whatever danger is coming. Same thing with fires. You want to make sure your livestock, horses, your dogs are able to not be confined in an area if the fire comes through. So you need to make sure you move your animals well ahead of these. Other disasters like earthquakes, unfortunately, especially in California, you're not going to get any type of heads up on when this disaster is going to strike. So you just have to, assume that 24/7 that something could happen, and you need to be prepared for it and have all these plans in place with your family and with your pets, understanding that disaster could strike at any moment. You really need to have something in place so you can be able to respond to that the best that you can. As far as the rescue team with American Humane, we do train for these different types of disasters. We do fire training, and we prepare to, being in a fire type environment. There's high levels of training that you have to go through in order to be able to be behind a fire line and respond to evacuating animals in a dangerous situation like that. Same thing with hurricanes. We do water safety, whether it's slack water or swift water safety training. We go out on john boats and are able to do rescues in floodwaters. So floodwaters, fires, different types of environments, totally different types of safety issues that you need to consider. So yes, the rescue team does do specific training for all these types of disasters. Do we do confined space training for earthquake type situations? We do rope training. If there's ever a situation where we need to, rappel or climb up or down some type of steep environment where we need to get to animals. So yes, we do prepare for all types of disasters that may happen.
All right, Cesar Perea, thank you for joining us this morning from California. I know you're 3 hours behind, but as we remember Katrina, it is a great reminder and the lessons learned about rescuing our pets. Thank you for the information and advice there at American Humane Society. Appreciate you.
Thank you so much for having us. I appreciate that.
Of course. And as we remember Katrina here on WCNC Plus tonight at 6:30 is our own special that you can watch here on the Plus. Download it, or well, you have it downloaded, right? Roku, Fire, and Apple TV. But spread the word because our own Brad Panovich is remembering Katrina. He used to work there. He was here at the time, but he went back to New Orleans and brought us some pictures and recapping some of his memories from that awful natural disaster that affected Katrina, and then really had this effect, a ripple effect, because a lot of people now were displaced, and then other cities across the country took it upon themselves to house them and take care of Americans that were definitely affected directly from Hurricane Katrina. All right, let's go ahead right now here at about 10:41 on Live Impact News. We're going to take a quick 2-minute break, and we'll be right back with some more live pictures, this time out of Little Rock, Arkansas, remembering the Little Rock 9 monument. That will be coming up here after the break. Welcome back to Live Impact News on WCNC Plus. Happening right now is a live event out of Arkansas where Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders is expected to deliver remarks. This is at the Little Rock 9 Monument, the 20th anniversary event since its unveiling. This is outside the Arkansas State Capitol and happening right now. Let's listen in live.
Across this nation, this monument has provided Arkansans and visitors from around the world a place to reflect on the struggle for civil rights and to honor the bravery of the Little Rock 9, whose actions helped pave the way for greater opportunity and dignity for generations to come. As the Arkansas Legislative Black Caucus commemorates this anniversary, we remain committed to honoring the spirit of the Little Rock 9 by working to advance equity, opportunity, and justice throughout the great state of Arkansas. On the 20th anniversary, we celebrate their legacy, affirming our commitment to the work still ahead of us, and thanking all who continue to preserve and uplift the vital piece of Arkansas history. The Little Rock 9 continues to inspire us all to stand for justice, to walk with courage, and to believe in the power of unity and preservation. Thank you for having me today. If you serve in an elected capacity, city council, justice of the peace, can you please stand? I do want to make sure that I acknowledge everybody who works so hard in our community. I see, okay, city board member. I can't see you, sorry. Okay. I'm missing anybody else. I see Antoine, I see Miss Baker, I see Justice Pearson. Anybody else? Virgil Miller, where he? Okay, Virgil. My JP, Tina Ward. I'm sorry, where you at, boo? Okay, all right. Okay, anybody else? I'm going to my seat.
Thank you so much, Senator. We want to recognize all those who played a tremendous part in this. If you look at the grounds and how it was able to absorb so much precipitation yesterday, but not only that, all of the traffic, and I hope I'm right, Mr. Secretary, that this is the most visited monument on the grounds of the state capitol, and it is held up. Yes, give that a round of applause. And it is held up so well because of how it was put together, and I am proud to say my good friend Dexter Doyne helped with the landscaping and the architecture of this monument. Let's give him a round of applause, and he's here today. Now, we want to have all of the tigers, since they're old. My good friend Fred Allen, who I grew up, and Fred, and I would sneak over away from North Little. When he was in high school, I was in junior high. And I would sneak over to the games at Central High School, and I couldn't afford to get in the game. I didn't have money for the tickets. So we would go in the back, and it was a door that had a chain on it that would open slightly. And back then, I was skinny enough to slide through the door. So, Governor, I hope I don't need a pardon for that. But I watched him for many years, and I've watched him ever since. He's been a role model for me for many years. But I would like for Representative Fred Allen, Denise Enid, Central graduates. I'm turning over to the Central graduates now. Senator Tucker, I want you all to come and take over from this point. Joyce Springer, who represents Central High School, I want you guys to come up as we get ready to introduce our young people, and we're going to do something special with the monuments at this time.
You want it first? Go ahead. First of all, I want to say I'm grateful and honored to have this opportunity to be here today. I want to sincerely thank all of you all for coming out here and being a part of this program. Very short Daisy Bates story. When I was at Central High School in the 10th grade, I got one of my counselors called me and told me to come to the office. And so back during that time, if you were summoned to the office, that meant you had done something wrong. Needless to say, when I entered the office, that was Daisy Bates. And I received a lot of honors and accolades at Central High School, but the biggest honor of my life was having the opportunity to meet Daisy Bates. And because of Daisy Bates, I'm here. And one of the questions that she asked me was, do you know how you got to Central High School? And I immediately replied, yes. Your efforts in the Little Rock 9 is the reason why I was able to attend Little Rock Central High School. Today, the task assigned to me is an honor. It is my honor to introduce Mickey Sue Morris, who's representing Jefferson Thomas. Would you please come forward?
Jefferson Thomas. As a youth, God blessed me with the courage of men. As a man, he gave me the spirit of youth.
The second student that I'm going to introduce is Elizabeth Rigsby, and she is representing Melba Patillo Bills. Please come forward.
Melba Patillo Bills. The task that remains is to embrace our interdependence, to see ourselves reflected in every other human being, and to respect and honor differences.
Thank you. Thank you. And the last student that I will introduce is Aubrey Sane, representing Elizabeth Eckford. Would you please come forward?
Elizabeth Eckford. If we have honestly acknowledged our painful but shared past, then we can have reconciliation.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Representative Denise Sennett. This is truly an honor to be in front of you all today. This is my 30th class reunion this weekend. Proud class 1995 Central High Tigers. It's an honor to be here to honor all these wonderful achievements from Little Rock 9 and to let everybody know that the history still remains and that we are in the legislature. We honor, we honor, and we, every day I drive by here and I look at the statues and I smile. I recognize the sacrifice that the Little Rock 9 has made to make this nation a better place. Today I'm going to ask Anika Dean to come up here. She is going to talk about Minnie Jean Brown Tricky.
Minnie Jean Brown, we have to be the change we want to see in the world.
I'd like to introduce my daughter, Camille Ennett, who is class of 2027. Come on up. She's going to talk about Ernest Green.
Ernest Green. We wanted to widen options for ourselves and later for our children.
And last, Tyson Goober. He's going to talk about Gloria K. Carlmart.
Gloria Ray Carlmart dared to object to prejudice and injustice.
Good morning. I'm Clark Tucker, Central High class of 99. That's my most important title this morning. It's dangerous to give a politician the microphone. I just want to take 30 seconds first to acknowledge the amazing and wonderful Elizabeth Eckford. She has been a true friend and mentor to me since I was in high school, and I cherish our relationship. It means the world to me. I think it's always important to say that Miss Elizabeth, Daisy Bates, and the other members of the Little Rock 9, not only did they open the doors for Representative Ennett, Representative Allen, and Representative Springer to go to Central High, they improved my experience at Central High beyond words. My experience would not have been the same without Miss Elizabeth. So I also want to acknowledge, thank you so much for those heartfelt words, Governor. It means the world. I really appreciate it. Since we're playing the age game this morning, the Governor always likes to remind folks, I did graduate a year ahead of the Governor, so I am older than the Governor. And then Senator Steele, there's another person who is in the same role now that they were in 20 years ago when this monument was unveiled. The best high school principal in the United States, the mayor of Little Rock Central High, Miss Nancy Russo. And since my sister, Senator Scott, told me she loved me from the microphone, I just want to say from the microphone, I love you too. And with that, it is all about the students, so Mr. Darian Anderson is coming up to recognize Dr. Terrence Roberts.
Well, it looks like that picture froze. You saw a little cutaway of Governor Huckabee Sanders waiting to hear her remarks here on the Little Rock 9 monument that was revealed, a big event for Little Rock 20 years ago. Right now, I want to let you know that tonight, a reminder that Katrina, our special 20 years later, is going to be tonight at 6:30 here on WCNC Plus, where here on the Plus app you can watch a very special show with our own Brad Panovich, who also was there. So there are going to be pictures and his own personal anecdotes from that event. Looks like we can go back to Arkansas right now, as that picture has been unfrozen and the feed is back up here live. Let's go ahead and continue to listen in on Live Impact News on WCNC Plus.
Thank you.
With that, I'd like to call up Representative Glenn Bart. He's going to close us with a prayer.
Let us pray. Father, we thank you today for this memorial. We're reminded, first of all, of our failure to love one another as you have called us to do. We're also reminded of the fight, God, that we must continue to fight. We're also reminded of your favor, that through it all, somehow, some way, you stepped in and made the difference. We thank you, God, for being God in every situation. We pray now that you still help us, because we're caught between a pull and a push. Now, those who are trying to pull us back to this situation, and now those of us who are pushing forward to be better. Give those of us who are pushing the strength to continue to fight. We ask it in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Thank God. God bless you.
And just in time. So it seems that that event has ended out of Little Rock, and my time is just about up as well. We have Charlotte Today. That's coming up next at 11. Have a great, safe Labor Day weekend. I will be back on Monday morning to join you again, 9 to 11. And at 4 on WCNC Charlotte with Nick Sturdivant. He joins the show here on Live Impact News at 12:30. Until then, we'll see you later.